the three most common issues I've dealt with from my coaching experience, they all stem from budget issues, entitlement issues, and external distractions that cause players to lose focus. So, I mean, I'm 2 years into coaching, um, and the budget issues that I've come across, just starting out, is the scholarships. The place I was previously at, um, we were not a fully funded program, so we didn't have the full allotment of 9 scholarships. So we're kind of behind the 8 ball there. Thankfully, the school and the city kind of sold itself, so we were still able to get recruits in and get good players into the program and continue that tradition of excellence that we tried to instill in the program. Money for necessary coaches. That was an issue. It's tough to run a program with the allowed or with 2 coaches. I'm sorry, and the budget allowed for a part-time or a full-time assistant and a full-time head coach. You need other position coaches in there to lighten the load and to be able to instruct more. And give the student athlete the best experience they can have. And then upgrades to facilities, and things that are outdated, things that make your program, for lack of a better term, sexier to recruits. It's tough to do upgrades when you're having budget issues, when you're having money issues. The second issue was entitlement. Not all athletes, but most of them these days, they want to be handed things. They don't necessarily want to work for it. They kind of do, but at the end of the day, they'd rather it be held or handed to them than grinding it out and busting their tail for the job. I saw a lot of kids shy away from competition. We tell them in the fall, hey, you and Joe Smith over there, y'all are in a position battle. Y'all are battling it out for center, and they would separate themselves by the lack of or the timidness. They wouldn't go and get it. They would just wait for somebody else to mess it up. They would wait for Joe or their competition to have a bad day, and then they're like, oh well, I earned it. He's not doing. And ran into those problems all the time, and then you run into guys doing the bare minimum. They won't go the extra mile. They won't put the extra work in, and I feel like that is all an entitlement issue that I saw for the past 2 years. And then external distractions. Being in college, being in a college baseball program, there's a lot going on. Freshmen come in, and they may or may not get swallowed up by it. But they when they come to the field, they bring problems with their grades. We've had meetings with guys that are having problems at home, and they're not getting along with their parents, or things aren't good at the house. Likewise with the girlfriend, and all this stuff affects how these players play. It affects how they prepare during the week, during the fall. It takes their mind away from where it needs to be when they're out at practice, and that's critical for any athlete's success. If they're not mentally focused, or if they're not mentally engaged in where they're at, they're not getting anything out of it. Another thing is these players balancing a social life. We get it. We all played in college, or most of us played in college, and we wanted to go out and have friends away from the field. And we encourage it, but sometimes those friends, you start hanging around the wrong people, they turn into distractions, and it starts damaging your performance, and we can't really help with that. We can't police that. We're not babysitters as coaches. We're here to make these players better people and better athletes, and moving them on after 4 years of hopefully being with you. And the things that come from these external distractions make it tough for us, because they're not giving us their best. They're not giving us their most focused mindset. But those are the three things in the past 2 years that I came across the most.